following is a Shaw TV special presentation.
Saskatoon, let's find a place where we laugh and laugh together, a place within ourselves right here. This place is wondrous and calm, where we flow from what has been to what could be. Welcome to wâseskwan, Saskatoon. Are you ready? Please stand and put your hands together to welcome your MCs, the magnetic and hilarious Leanne Bellegarde and the messenger of a man, John Lajamodiere.
You can sit now.
He was reminding me that he prayed for me to be safe from the storm, and he will invoke for all of us later some prayers to keep us safe from the storm that goes around us tonight.
And quite the storm we're having, folks. My name is John Lajamodiere, and I want to welcome you to the Treaty 6 territory and the homeland of the Métis and the Saskatoon Community Foundation, Gala.
My name's Leanne Bellegarde. I'm from the Papixies First Nation in Treaty 4. Proud to be co-chair this evening with Tracy Mugley and MC. They got two for the price of one.
Very busy lady.
And honored to be an employee of Potash Corp.
Go ahead.
It has been an interesting preparation for this evening. The skies have gathered around us, but in the theme of the evening, wâseskwan means the sky is clearing after the storm. This powerful metaphor is about experiencing a journey of reconciliation tonight. Like a storm and the power of Mother Earth, the lessons can seem harsh, the experience painful, the wreckage left in its aftermath daunting and seemingly impossible to restore. This, to some extent, reflects the experience of reconciliation in this country, increasingly brought to light as truths become known about some of the harshest realities of our country and its treatment of First Nations and Métis people. Residential schools, the 60s scoop, unscrupulous land practices, forced relocations, and more. It's uncomfortable. We want to look away. The storm rages around us from time to time. It seems overwhelming, and we may face a sense of homelessness and dread. But wâseskwan reminds us.
Our survivors tonight are a living reminder that the unfulfilled promises of treaty upon which this country was founded have led us to this stormy journey. But tonight, wâseskwan. It reminds us that in the aftermath of the storm, as the sky clears, the rainfall cleanses, and the sun comes out, we're drawn together again along the banks of this beautiful river in the heart of this city to face the aftermath of the storm. In the spirit of community that drew us here, we begin to rebuild, sometimes keeping that which survived, sometimes replacing that which didn't, and sometimes starting something totally new. But always remembering that which brought us here tonight, our treaty alliances, our desire to live together on this land, and the strength of our relations with one another.
Tonight, we will try to realize the vision of my co-chair, Tracy Mugley. In the tradition of white people who made promises to us, she's ditching me at 7:30 this evening. Tracy, your leadership to have the committee and the gala and your board support a theme of reconciliation has led us all on a journey to this evening. Even though you're ditching me, your brother's wedding's kind of a big deal. So while you party there, we'll party here, similar in spirit of coming together, creating community and sharing family. So thank you, Tracy, for your leadership. And tonight is an experience unlike any that you may have had. And it's due to the hard work of Carrie Catherine and the creative leadership of Don Wâseskwan. It's evident as the water falls, as the river runs through it, as the northern lights appear and as you see behind us the images of this place we call Saskatoon.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, will be a feast for the heart and the soul, and we hope you appreciate our efforts and open yourself to the experience. Wâseskwan. Now, to get things started in a good way, we've asked Elders Walter and Maria Linklater to share an invocation with us. So Walter says during the invocation, please remain seated, and we're going to turn it over to the pros.
This work now? Bajoak, good evening. Dotem take all my relations. Part of our spiritual history as First Nations Métis people is to be spiritual. And part of our history includes always giving thanks to Creator, to the spirits above us, below us, around us, within us, for everything we received in life. So this is what we are going to do this evening. We invite you to talk to our Creator with me, each in your own way. We all have different ways to speak to our Creator. We tell Him who we are, why we are here, and what we require, not only this evening, but also in our lives. Also for the success of the foundation. And we pray for others as well, those less fortunate than we are, particularly the survivors from the residential schools and their families. So we keep these ideas in mind when we pray together. I'll be praying in 3 languages: Cree, which is Maria's nation. So I married Maria, so I'm Cree too. Cremated. And Maria is my nation, Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, Soto. And I'll be praying in that language as well as in English. Residential schools taught us good English. So I invite you to spend the next few moments in prayer and meditation. And when I'm finished the invocation, Maria will be singing a Thanksgiving song. This is our tradition. Mamutawe mam. So when I no tau sapa me ka ki ai sinuak. We chia no chka kizigat. They give me up about the sanan, kana skomtanan. Ka kio ki kwayoche. Petne okseo keka. Bajoga jamanito. A kekwe. Bishom sananak nokum sananak. Manitok. Nishnabe benik. Binigeko mawa kaigan. Nimatabik. Bisendamok. Kichi gigitoa kichi nama ekoma. No en dag nakiatama. And to wait the men ki goy. Kiminigo an ki goy a jaiminoa. Chimigwets kiminigo manto minogizigat. Chimigwets kiminigo manito wâseskwan enjiganan. Manito pematsuin. Chimigwets kimino manto michim. Manito noten. Manito iskate. Manito nipi. Kinigego kiminigo anamake. Kinigego gaje. Kiminigo anamake. Chimigwets misjomas. Swemenan. Nojamoan. Kabegizik. Ka kinak totemtik. E bijawak omahanongum. Creator, Mother Earth, grandfathers and grandmothers in the 4 directions, spirits of the universe, loved ones in the spirit world, thank you for allowing us to spend a few moments with you in prayer, meditation. We thank you for all the beautiful gifts that you have given to us in life. And I ask that you listen to my brothers, my sisters who are here with me, as they too have lots to thank you for and lots to ask of you. We thank you for life, light, water, food, air, sacred teachings, sacred medicines. And we thank you for our ancestor elders who left us a beautiful spiritual way of life, which we try to follow today. We ask for forgiveness for the mistakes we have made in life. and we know you'll forgive us if we rightly relate ourselves to you again. We ask you to bless the people today, bless the food, and bless everyone gathered here this evening in the objective that they are trying to achieve, and also bless the families of the residential school survivors. And we had a sweat lodge today, and food was put in the sacred fire to honor the memories of all the residential school people who have passed away. This is our way of honoring them. And we thank you, Creator. We thank you, Mother Earth. We thank you, grandfathers and grandmothers. Chimigwets kizemanito, kimina go kinige go debauch tunoma, kinige go gije, kimina go on a mark. Jaimi nuanik gwetsmet, bindigek, nematabik, bisinda mok, no jimoan, gabe nakshan, ka kinanishanabek, e bijawa kamanongom. Chimigwets kizemanito, chimigwets kizemanito, ahoy.
As Maria prepares to sing a song to honor women, we would ask that all the women in the room rise for this honor song by Maria. Draw your attention to many things happening in the room, and in particular at the back of the room you'll meet artist Kevin Pies. Kevin is a local artist from the Yellow Quill First Nation, and throughout the evening will continue to work on a specially commissioned item for this evening, a painting in his style and with the theme of wâseskwan. This will be auctioned off, and you're welcome to make your way back to watch the work in progress and to make a bid on his work throughout the evening. Thank you, Kevin, for your contribution tonight. I'd like to now call on an extraordinary representative of Potash Corp, Wayne Brownlee, not just because he's one of my bosses, and the CFO and Executive Vice President of Potash Corp, but because he is also the president of the Saskatoon Community Foundation. And Wayne has shown an extraordinary commitment in this city and to this community, and we're very pleased to have him here on behalf of Potash Corp as your sponsor to give some remarks tonight. Wayne Brownlee.
She's never nice that nice to me at the office. So here's the deal. If I can just have your silence for a couple minutes, I'll be as short as I can, and I would appreciate that. Thanks everybody for coming out. I'm privileged to be here tonight, Treaty 6 territory and homeland of the Métis. This is our 8th year as a Gala sponsor, and we're very proud of that. "2017 marks 150 years for Confederation, but as you may know, Saskatoon area's history of First People goes back 6,400 years ago. Yes, wâseskwan, which I have a devotion to, the meeting place, is the original home of Saskatoon. We should be very proud of that. The Truth and Reconciliation Committee reminds us this has not been the case for all of our citizens. Can I just ask one more time for attention, please, for those who are still talking? It's just difficult. Thanks. The Truth and Reconciliation Committee shone a light on some of Canada's darkest days, in particular the residential school system. But I gotta say, we also should recognize the many broken promises of the treaty system for First Nations and the many promises broken to the Métis people of Western Canada. Nobody should be proud of this time. We see those who have suffered and their descendants here tonight, and it's a testament to the resilience of these people who have shaped and shared this land with us. So we welcome and acknowledge their presence. So thank you very much. The Truth and Reconciliation Commission was a call to action for individuals, companies, governments, institutions, and organizations. The Community Foundation, of which I'm chair right now, has answered this call by focusing tonight's theme solely around that purpose. And we've also announced the creation of a special reconciliation fund in June. Potash Corp is so proud to be part of that the proceeds of tonight will go to establish this Reconciliation Commission and providing a stronger foundation for Saskatoon's future. It will support, thank you. This fund will support community actions locally so that our children and our children's children will enjoy mutually respectful relationships, and it will be a legacy for years to come. Tonight, we're honored that our name is on this event and will provide an experience unlike any other that I think that you'll have had. It celebrates our collective contributions to this place we call home now, Saskatoon, the river that runs through it, and the bridge that joins us all. I want to offer a special thanks to the production team and this unique experience that you will have over the course of the night. Thank you to the elders and the foundation staff, the many volunteers and the performers and the suppliers for bringing such an ambitious program to life. This takes creativity and commitment from everyone on the team. Potash Corp has answered the call by including and celebrating First Nations and Métis people as partners, employees, suppliers, and through our community investments to share in our success with all. Now, I've been asked to, on a personal basis, tell you what reconciliation means to me. Reconciliation to me means educating yourself, learning, and understanding. But most of all, that's the platform. But what it has to do at the end of the day is provide hope and opportunity for all. And that's my reconciliation. Thank you very much.
We are all indigenous to somewhere. With generations upon generations, our ancestors co-created this place that we call home. There was sacrifice and trust, amplified ancestral ties, misunderstood, disregarded, met with intention, uncertainty with clarity, and oh, the curiosity. Saskatchewan, the river people, the people of the river, the healers, the builders, the bridges here before the concrete, both new and old, familiar and beloved, a welcoming place, a place where worldviews meld and collide, a simple reunion of nations, Anishinaabe, Dakota, Lakota, Nakota, Métis, Dene Sutlane, Assiniboine, Naheyawak from near, and those who came from far across waters, settled on and made home of a land where humility is understood as leadership. And so the conversation renews again and again on the mewasin, miwasin that we've all chosen to protect, communities of bright eyes and ambition to make things right, to have a quality of life on the vastness of these prairies, to simply bask in and breathe life from and back into the air. This is our home. These are our memories. We are the Saskatchewan Innuwak, the river people, the people of this river, and we stand humbly together, diverse in tone, perspective, and ideas, representing all colors of lineage ties that hold each of us up from our roots. And we are reminded that this is what it means to be from Saskatoon.
Reconciliation is a challenge. Calls to action are a challenge. They're not simply recommendations. The calls to action will not be diminished by tokenism and/or paternalism. If you're going to participate in reconciliation, true reconciliation, learn about it. It's going to be a challenge. And the baby steps that you have taken will go a long way in this long haul that we all have to be a part of, and hopefully the next generation don't have to go through what previous generations of Indigenous people have went through. talk about my grandmother, and I get pretty emotional in that because she's the only person that ever showed me any kind of love then, and somehow or another, my stay at the school, I suppressed that love and that, and for many of us, when we came out of these schools, we had nobody to turn to, and that our main anchors in life were not there anymore.
I wish my mother could have been alive to witness some of this, because in her day there wasn't a lot of this. But I think her generation led up to what's happening now, and also the educational institutes, the universities, the post-secondary institutes, the elementary schools, and some of the things that they're doing now to acknowledge the treaties and acknowledge the past, and acknowledge that these things did take place, and that they continue to affect in a lot of ways.
My father and I attended the Federation of Sovereign Indigenous Nations Assembly one year. And there was this old man, and he came, and my dad and I were just grabbing a coffee, and he stopped me, and he said, "That's what you look like." He said, "The elders told us you were coming." I don't still feel to this day that message was for me, but it's for these young people that are coming, you know, that are growing up with their identity from start to finish.
Please rise. Please rise as we sing to the residential school survivors who are here with us this evening and to those across the country. Thank you for your stories. We hear you, and we dedicate to you this honor song.
My name is Jolene Prosser. I'm here tonight on behalf of Scotiabank. At Scotiabank, we are committed to our Aboriginal initiatives because we recognize the value and opportunities in developing strong partnerships with Indigenous individuals, businesses, and communities. We were the first chartered bank to open a branch on a First Nation reserve in 1971, and we were recently recognized as a gold recipient of the Progressive Aboriginal Relations through the Canadian Council for Aboriginal Business. At Scotiabank, we are committed to reconciliation. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Patricia Cook. As a First Nation organization, reconciliation is a major priority for SIGA. It's built into the fabric of who we are. SIGA was born out of social need to create opportunities for First Nations people. Our operations support sustainable benefits for our people, and 100% of our net income goes back to our communities. We are a leader in providing First Nations people equitable access to jobs, training, and educational opportunities. We are committed to reconciliation and to fostering long-term partnerships that help Indigenous and non-Indigenous communities thrive side by side. Thank you.
Bonsoir. I'm Chris Garrett, CEO of the Saskatoon and Region Home Builders Association. As builders of homes and communities, our industries strive to make Saskatoon a place that everyone who lives here can be proud to call home. And we know that reconciliation is a very important part of that. We're a big industry, which means there's big opportunity to contribute meaningful consultation, training, and educational opportunities, and sustainable benefits for Indigenous people, and we're happy to be able to offer our support to the Saskatoon Community Foundation for this cause tonight.
Good evening. My name is Doug Barker, President of Parc de Roche, Saskatchewan. Parc de Roche respects the unique history, cultural, and legal status of Aboriginal people in Canada. At Parc de Roche, we believe that building and maintaining positive, mutually beneficial, and sustainable relationships with Aboriginal and local communities, businesses, and individuals are key to our success of our organizations. While employing over 150 workers here in Saskatchewan, we have successfully been able to employ between 25 and 30% Aboriginal on a regular basis. We believe between hiring youth and mixing multicultural workers together gives Parc de Roche a well-balanced, successful team.
Good evening. I'm Greg Keller. I'm a partner at Ernst & Young and presently sitting on the board of the Saskatoon Community Foundation as past chair. Our office has been a supporter of the Saskatoon Community Foundation for many years, and we are proud to participate in the cultural gala this year. Being heavily involved in the business community in Saskatoon, our office is focused on call to action number 92, business and reconciliation. We started with creating a dialogue with our staff by having a presentation at our town hall by John Lodgemodier on the history of Aboriginal peoples. Thanks, John, for opening my eyes. Our office is heavily involved in and supportive of the Aboriginal community, in which it is evidenced by many sponsorships. Sponsorship of the World Indigenous Business Forum, sponsorship of the Maui Wichituan Conference, sponsorship of the Métis Economic Development Forum, sponsorship of the Aboriginal Economic Development Forum. We are also involved with the Thundering Ahead campaign in wâseskwan, as well as the Aboriginal Employment Partnership as a member and on the management team. We are also a member of the Saskatoon Aboriginals Professional Association. We're a special advisor to the Métis Nation of Saskatchewan and have participated and supported many groups in the city. And we are in contact and working with SAIT, the Aboriginal Student Society, Gabriel Dumont Institute, and the Saskatoon Tribal Council in an effort to recruit Aboriginal students to our profession. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Karina Farbachet with Concentra Bank, and I'm very pleased and honored to have the opportunity to be in front of you this evening. Concentra is very proud to be a Saskatchewan-based company, witnessing and supporting the tremendous work underway towards truth and reconciliation to make our community more inclusive, diverse, and stronger in partnership with Indigenous peoples. As a company, we are committed to increasing our understanding of reconciliation and the Commission's calls to action. We will work towards learning more of our collective history of treaty relationships in Saskatchewan and take a very thoughtful approach to embrace diversity, including Indigenous peoples and culture. Thank you.
Welcome to all of you, to our dignitaries, to our honored guests. We cannot erase the past, but we can acknowledge the truth and take action to make a better society together. We can share a vision for the future and join hands in making that dream a reality. Saskatoon Community Foundation has begun its journey of reconciliation. We are taking our first steps by listening, by learning about the experiences of First Nations and Métis. Tonight, each of you have a small orange booklet to take home. It contains the summary of the 94 calls to action of the TRC. Last year, Saskatoon Community Foundation signed on to the Philanthropic Community's Declaration of Action as a sign of our commitment to reconciliation and response to the TRC calls to action. Earlier this year, made possible because of the many donors in this room and because of Potash Corp, the grants from our Fund for Canada's 150 also focused on reconciliation projects, providing many local organizations an amazing historic opportunity to mobilize real cultural change. With these first steps, we have begun to take a long-term path of healing, creating relationships, and new possibilities. Tonight represents another step, and as our board chair, Wayne Brownlee, said earlier, thanks to all of you and your attendance tonight, and to our volunteer board of directors, and to the immeasurable support of Potash Corp over the years. In 2018, your community foundation will grant $100,000 through the new Community Fund for Reconciliation. And we will create an endowed fund so that we will forever acknowledge the importance of supporting our community to answer the calls to action. We invite each of you to add your voice, to add your support by giving to that fund. Every Canadian can take up a call to action. Each one of us has the power to reach out to others. And that is the beginning of real change. Honored guests.
People of this territory remind us that long before contact, we shared this land, had treaties among us, made alliances, and existed for thousands of years. These territories knew different boundaries then. Territories of hunting, fishing, trapping, gathering, and places of peace and healing. As others came to this territory, wars were fought, new borders drawn, and treaties and promises solemnly exchanged with newcomers. The Saskatoon Tribal Council and its member First Nations, Kiniston, Mistawassis, Muskeg Lake, One Arrow, Whitecap Dakota, and Yellow Quill span 3 distinct linguistic cultures, Cree, Saulteaux, and Dakota. They have always adhered in their commitment to uphold treaty and their alliances with the Crown. In their own right, as nations and as a collective, they have long stood as allies and economic partners in this territory with settlers and newcomers. Saskatoon is founded from Chief Whitecap's counsel to John Lake on where to best place this settlement along the river. 135 years later, we mark this historical meeting between Chief Whitecap and John Lake and acknowledge how it has brought benefit to both communities.
A new nation was born after contact, the Métis. The Prairie Round, or Round Prairie Métis, were a community of buffalo hunters from this territory who established a wintering site near Whitecap in the late 1800s. In the 1920s and 30s, many in the community were forced to migrate to Saskatoon in search of work. And by the 40s, they had established a permanent but close-knit community near the neighborhood of Stonebridge. They were forced by the Crown to relocate in the 1950s. Saskatoon, represented by His Worship, Charlie Clark, have long forged relationships with the nations of this territory. Reconciliation serves to remind us of how important these relationships have been to make this community what it is, and offers us a ready foundation upon which to continue to build and renew. Wâseskwan.
As the storm clears, let us look anew at our relationships with one another and seek to understand more fully our shared history, elders, survivors, these leaders, the Reconciliation Fund of the Saskatoon Community Foundation, the community efforts of Reconciliation Saskatoon, the resources of the Office of the Treaty Commissioner, the Gabriel Dumont Institute, the place that is wâseskwan, and the campaigns of the city against racism are some of the many ways that we can explore reconciliation together and fulfill the treaty promises upon which our relationships are fundamentally grounded. The journey here in Saskatoon has begun as these great leaders reflect that, even before the Truth and Reconciliation called us to action. But the path grows wider and many feet can join as we walk together. Thank you all for awakening to a new day after this storm. Wâseskwan. I hope you've had a great evening. As you can see, as we tried to warn you at the beginning that this was going to be a special evening, and this evening only happens when we have amazing people bringing it together. We want to first thank the board and invite the board members of the Saskatoon Community Foundation to please come join us here on the dance floor. As they are making their way here, I'd like to just turn your attention to this absolutely phenomenal work, so representative of Kevin Pies, around the theme of this evening, wâseskwan. The work is now finished, and I don't even know who bid on it, but hopefully you will get to take this baby home and enjoy it. Some of my favorite art in my office in my home is by Kevin, so congratulations to whoever got that one. Okay. Give it up for the Saskatoon Community Foundation Board. We got more coming. We got Carm. We got the staff. Where's the Gala committee volunteers? These are the guys who made John and I look like we did a fabulous job. Thank you. Thank you all. We really tried to pay homage to the best of all that is Saskatoon, the First Nations, the Métis, the settlers, and the immigrant community, and the folks that bred life into that, and who made sure that we did so Artistically and creatively, but with respect for their traditions, were our advisors, Lorna and Eugene Arcond. And I don't know if they've been able to stay with us this evening, but you're certainly welcome to join us up here, Lorna and Eugene. They do so much for our community, and they were so instrumental, as well as working with our survivors and the descendants of our survivors, to be here this evening. And so I hope you enjoyed that experience. Everybody, we appreciate your openness, the spirit with which you've accepted the show, and we hope that you have a great evening. I want to give a shout out to my daughter. She's here with me tonight. It's her 18th birthday. It was really all for you, my girl. And now we have the fabulous Donnie Peranto.
Ladies and gentlemen, the pride of the Métis community, 3-time Juno nominee, Donnie Peranto.
Happy birthday! If I was given a chance to go back in time, I wouldn't change a thing. Everything is fine in my little corner of this old world. I got all I own from the sweat of my brow, followed the path of my heart that brought me to now, wrapped in the arms of love from my girl. Well, my girl, she's one of a kind, she's a diamond in the rough. I was lucky to find my girl. Just wouldn't be if not for her mother who brought her to me. I feel like the luckiest man in this world 'cause of my girl. Yeah! Well, I wasn't there for your very first breath, ought to catch you when you fell from your first step, but I'll be here now and forever when you call. I'll do the best I can to help you grow, to become a woman that can stand on her own. But for now, let's just enjoy this moment in time. Woo! Well, my girl, she's one of a kind, she's a diamond in the rough. I was lucky to find my girl. Just wouldn't be if not for her mother who brought her to me. I feel like the luckiest man in this world 'cause of my girl. She's one of a kind, she's a diamond in the rough. I was lucky to find my girl. Just wouldn't be if not for her mother who brought her to me. I feel like the luckiest man in this world. Well, I feel like the luckiest man